You're listening to Just One More, the global community striving to prove that when life feels impossible, all it takes is just one more step, one more breath, and one more day to pull you through. All of this began when your host, Brooke McIntosh, decided to run 14,200 kilometres around Australia in 2025. 204 days of raw truth, real conversations, and turning her deepest pain into purpose. In each episode, you'll hear Brooke walking or even running on a treadmill. This is Brooke's creative process and where her best ideas and hardest truths come to light. Some episodes are 100% Brooke, others will bring guests, but every episode is designed to inspire you to choose courage over comfort, authenticity over approval, and resilience over giving up. This is Just One More. Let's chat.
Alrighty fam, we are back with another episode. Now, South Australia, there's something magical about it. Something actually really sad and heartbreaking about it too. When I was in South Australia, it was a real eye-opener for me to see the farmlands and just how dry and the drought that our South Australian farmers are actually experiencing. Coming from Western Australia where it was green and lush to then run into South Australia and see the dryness. There was one day where we were actually on the side of the highway and I was having one of my breaks and it looked, and I quote unquote, it looked so overcast, but it actually wasn't overcast. I thought it was going to rain. As I was running, I was like praying for rain for these farmers so that they can actually have rain to help their crops grow and to help their cows, to help their livestock. And I was praying, and then I looked up and it's so dark and gloomy, and then I stopped and I had a break and I felt like 2 or 3 droplets of rain on me and I was like, yes, it's gonna rain. And then all of a sudden, as I was sitting on the side of the highway, eating my lunch, I've got my legs in compression boots, puffing up, puffing down, I'm stuck, can't go anywhere because I've got my compression boots on. This massive dust storm comes in. And this is how dry South Australia is. This massive dust storm comes in and there's just dust, wind, sand flying everywhere. My sandwich is absolutely covered in dust. I'm covered in dust. The whole caravan is covered in dust. And my support crew at the time, Rowan and Kate, who Kate flew in at South Australia, they were in the caravan looking out at me and just laughing so hard because I couldn't move because I had my legs in compression boots. That day, I was just like, holy shit, this place is so dry. It is so devastating. And when I ran through South Australia, I had a beautiful lady called Annie come out and run with me. Annie is, oh my God, dead set, absolute legend. She's just gone and done 7 Wonders of the World and ran an entire marathon. I can't remember whereabouts she ran it, but she's an absolute incredible chick, absolute hoot. She comes out and runs with me. We're running along the highway. She sees like a spanner on the side of the highway and she picks it up and chucks it into a running vest. And I'm like, you all good, babe? She's like, yeah, my partner might need this. My husband might love this. And I was like, fair enough. Keeps running. She picks up a wrench, chucks it in the other side. She's like, this is the best thing ever for collecting tools. But on that run with Annie, she opened up and she lives on a farm in South Australia. She opened up and she shared some of the stories of the farmers who are struggling. She shared with me one of the farmers, he has just taken out another $200,000 loan to feed his livestock and put food on the table for his family another year in a row. He is suffering with his mental health and the financial pressure that he's under. And each year he's had to take out another loan and he doesn't know how he's going to do it anymore. When I heard that story and I was looking around and I was seeing how dry the farmland was, I was like, this is actually heartbreaking. But to see them come together as one, to hear the stories from Annie about how they support one another, the community gatherings that they have, and the conversations that they have, the biggest hearts, like farmers, people who live in remote, outback, people who live in the country towns, they have literally the biggest hearts. And I experienced it all through South Australia. Now, when we were in South Australia, we hit Adelaide and I had Kate fly into Adelaide. Kate flew into Adelaide, but what had actually happened was the day before Kate flew into Adelaide, my knee started playing up. Now, I've gotten over 4,000 kilometres. I just hit just over 4,000 kilometres, and my right knee started playing up. Now, I don't know when it was, 2019, I had my scooter accident where I fell off my scooter in a scooter crash in Bali. I hadn't had any problems with this knee, major problems at all. Throughout training, it was kind of always manageable and bearable with the type of knee pain that I was getting. But because I'd ran over 4,000 kilometres now, I'd ran on the exact same side of the road every single day on the right side. The canva dips a little bit, and running lopsided, it plays out. It was probably about day 40 of the run around Australia. My right knee was like, it didn't shatter, but it just burst. And I felt it. And I was like, shit, what is going on right now? What is going on right now? And I kept pushing through. And I said to Rowan, I was like, Rowan, I could literally only run 75 Ks today. So that day I ran 75 Ks. We had another beautiful friend come out, and she bought us a whole heap of food, and she stayed with us for half of the day. And I remember running into the caravan, but I couldn't stop because my knee was feeling like it was so swollen, and I'd already broken past the pain cave that I ran into the caravan. I ran around the caravan and I yelled out to them, go up 5 kilometres, I can't stop. Because I knew if I stopped, then my knee would kick in harder and harder and I'd feel the pain. I only had 5 kilometres to go that day. So I ran past them and I was like, Rowan, I can't stop. Go up 5 kilometres. So he moved the caravan up with one of our friends up 5 kilometres and waited there for me. And when I ran in to finish off for the day, Rowan's like, you must be in so much pain because you didn't stop back there. And I was like, yeah, I am. I don't know what's happening with my knee. It feels so swollen and I don't know how I'm going to do tomorrow. So went back to our campsite, got ice, iced it up, compression boots on in the ice bath, went to sleep that night, woke up the next morning. My knee was still a little bit swollen, but I pushed on anyway. And that day I could only run 72 kilometres because my knee was swelling throughout the day. The next day, on day 3 of my knee having some issues, I didn't put 2 and 2 together yet, but the next day of my knee having some issues, I was still running on the right side of the road. I was still running at the speed I was running, but I couldn't run anymore. Rowan dropped me off at my spot. I tried to run 5 kilometres. I couldn't even run 5 kilometres. And I ended up having to call Rowan and say, come back, bro. I don't know if I can even make it to you. Because I could barely bend my right leg at this time. I was hobbling along because my knee was starting to become so swollen. It felt like there was like a sack underneath of swelling underneath the kneecap. And then I looked at 2 and 2 side by side and I was like, something's seriously going wrong here. We're still 170 kilometres out from Adelaide. I had an event to get to in Adelaide the next day, that evening, so I needed to make it to Adelaide. Rowan came back, he looked at me and I was like, bro, look at my legs. And he's like, oh, that doesn't look good. We sent some photos to my support team, to my physio, to my chiro, to my sports doctor, to my strength coach, to my running coach, to my energetic team. I got some responses back and they helped me through it. They said, you're almost in Adelaide, you should go see a podiatrist, you should go see a chiro. So that day, I made the decision to drop it all back and only move forward 15 kilometres. Because still at this moment in time, if I was to hold the ultimate world record of consecutive days around Australia, I still needed to move forward 15 kilometres. So I was like, bro, I'm just going to walk for the 15 Ks. My physio, he's like, Brooke, that is stupid because you actually just need to get off your legs right now. You're going to do more damage. But I still walked forward 15 kilometres. I was on my legs for 3 hours and then for the rest of the day, I hopped off my legs, I hopped in the car and we drove to Adelaide where we stayed at Rowan's sister's house. The next day, woke up, Rowan's sister and her friend, they drove us out to our ex on the highway and they walked with me for 15 kilometres because I was still adamant. I was still determined to hold the consecutive record of consecutive days around Australia, I needed to hit the 15-kilometre mark moving forward day by day. So they dropped us back out there. They walked with us for 3 hours it was, and it was an incredible walk. It was just like you girls' coffee chats and walk. And in that time, Rowan had actually picked up Kate. So Kate had flown over from Canberra to come out and help us. Kate flew into Adelaide. I'd never met Kate before. I met her on a Zoom before the run when I put out a call asking for help and support. Because Rowan could only do 3 months with us. I was extremely grateful that Rowan was there for 3 months. He was there for just under 3 months, but I was extremely grateful for that, right? But I knew I needed more support. So we got Kate out. We flew Kate in. Rowan was going to help teach her the ropes of what it's like on the ground, the caravan setup, the cooking, the cleaning, how the day's structured. So Rowan went to the Adelaide airport, picked up Kate. They started doing stuff around the caravan, but that day I went and seen a podiatrist. She absolutely changed the game for me. Never seen one before in my life. She's the one who prescribed me compression socks. They changed the game for me incredibly. They helped me. They helped my legs. They helped my knee. So instead of my knee being painful for a week, 2 weeks, by me choosing the choice to pull back a little bit, to listen to my body, to give the respect it deserves after carrying me over 4,000 kilometres, by pulling back for 2 days, I was then able to go further. So I pulled back, I walked 15 kilometres for 2 days straight, and then the next day, I was able to run a marathon. After seeing a podiatrist and after seeing a chiropractor, I was able to run a marathon. And then the following day, I was back up to 65 kilometres. So it was so important for me to learn that pulling back, it doesn't mean that I failed. It means that the plan had to change in order for me to go further, in order for me to keep continuing on. And that's what happens in life sometimes. The plan ain't always going to go planning. We ain't always going to take the straight one road, but you have to be adaptable. You have to be adaptable to the change. And it doesn't mean you give up, doesn't mean you're a failure. It just means that, hey, life is lifing right now. You've got to change your way. Choose to pivot. So we pivoted. Now Rowan, he flew home, and Kate, she carried me on. She took me from South Australia to Melbourne. Now, this one night, bloody Kate, we absolutely love her, and if you've seen her on our socials, she's an absolute hoot. Kate's like your older sister. She's like my older sister who wants the absolute best, will do whatever you want in the world. She'll provide, she'll go above and beyond. She loves everything spotless. And I mean, hey, this is why I loved Kate. I loved walking into a caravan, and the caravan was spotless 24/7. Things were in its place. Everything was systemized in procedures, and everything was happening. Kate is ex-Defence Force background, military for 35 years. She loves systems. She loves structure. She knows discipline. Now, I remember running through, I think we hit Victoria this time, and we were running through the Otways, that's it. Running through the Otways in Victoria. Hilly as all hell, farmland, would not recommend you do a run there. I 100% would recommend you go camping there and do a drive through it. It's absolutely stunning, absolutely beautiful. But I was running through there. She'd get up onto another top of the hill, struggle to pull the caravan up because these hills were so freaking steep. But she'd get to the top of the hill and she'll just have a big old chuckle to herself. She's like, this is going to be fun for Brooke to run up. Let me tell you, they were not fun to run up at all. I was dreading that we went the Otway's way, and I was just asking myself, why the hell are we doing it this way? Why could we not stick to the highway and just go straight across, avoid all the hill land? We didn't do it that way because what happened next needed to happen. I got to the top of the hill. It was about 5 o'clock. The sun was setting. And I seen the caravan, and I was running into the caravan to grab my lights for the night. I was running in to grab my lights because I had 6 kilometres to go. As I ran down the hill, I seen Kate and a car. And I was like, oh, who's Kate talking to this time? I was not in the mood to talk to anyone. But she was talking to a farmer and his daughter. Now I run in. Hey guys, how you going? Hey. Kate introduces me to Sophie and her father. And Sophie's story broke my heart. Because Sophie was 1 week out of hospital. Sophie had just spent 2 months in hospital battling with anorexia, eating disorders, and body dysmorphia. To see Sophie standing there, it broke my heart because I was once in that position. I remember when I was her age. Sophie was 12 years old. I'm pretty sure she was 12 years old. And I remember me being 12 years old, thinking I wasn't enough, thinking I wasn't worthy, controlling what I could control, which was the food that I put in my body, starving myself to death, being told by doctors that I would be hospitalised if I didn't change my way. And Sophie standing there, a beautiful young girl who had just came out of hospital after spending 2 months in hospital with severe eating disorders. It broke my heart. I chatted to Sophie for about 30 minutes because I couldn't keep running without having this conversation. And I told Sophie how beautiful she was. I told her I understand it. I told her that she's more than enough. And I showed her how powerful and capable our bodies are when we treat them with respect. When we fuel them, just like we fuel our car for us to go places, we need to fuel our body for us to be able to go places, for us to be able to do things, for us to be able to survive, because our body is our home. And I resonated deeply with her. And I said, Sophie, you don't understand right now, but the woman that you are, the girl that you are so beautiful. And I helped her and I shared some more tips on how to help and build your relationship with self first. We chatted for about 30 minutes and then I got on my merry way because sun was setting, it was becoming really, really dark, and we were just, like, the conversation was just done. I thought the conversation was done. I put all my lights on, my vests on, and I start running all the way up. I run 4Ks, I run 5Ks. I'm almost at my finishing point of my 80Ks for the day. And when I run 80Ks, I'm not running anymore unless it's pre-planned by myself first. So I'm almost at my point and I'm starting to stress. I'm like, where's Kate? Where's Kate? She should be here now. Like, haven't seen the caravan go past, and anxiety's starting to kick in and I'm just stressing. I'm like, it's pitch black. Like, hopefully she's here any second. And all of a sudden, this ute drives past and Kate's hanging out the window and she's waving her arms and she's screaming, hey, Brooke. And I'm like, what the hell has happened? And instantly I'm like, I bet you she forgot the spray paint can. Anyway, they pulled up 500 metres in front of me. Kate jumps out of the car and she's like, Brooke, I've got a flat tyre. And I'm like, Kate, you're kidding me, aren't you? She's like, no, I've got a flat tyre. And I'm like, well, did you bring the spray can? And she's like, oh, no, I forgot the spray can. Sophie and her father had driven Kate out to find me. So Sophie and her father drove Kate out to get me. Thankfully, Sophie's father had spray paint in his car. So funny that that's instantly where my mind went. I was like, how can I mark my spot? Thankfully, Sophie's father had spray paint in his car. I painted the X on the spot, jumped back in the car. We went back to the caravan. Turns out they own an olive farm that's also on high camps that you can actually camp and stay there the night. So after I left and ran off, Sophie's father invited Kate for us to stay there the night and use their facilities free of charge. And I was like, this is incredible. So as Kate's driving in to go park up the van, she pulls around and she drives straight into a bloody brick wall. She smashes up the tyre and the tyre starts to deflating. And we've got a flat tyre and she's got no idea what to do. I have no idea what to do. I'm just a runner. So they come back, pick me up, went back to the caravan. I'm starting to cook dinner. This is at like about 8:30 p.m. at night. Dinner's not cooked. Caravan's not set up. We've got a flat tyre. What the hell do we do? We're in the middle of nowhere on someone's farm. But thankfully, Sophie and their father, they helped us. They had their dinner. Sophie's father stayed up with Kate until about 11:30, helping her change the tyre. And Sophie came into the caravan with me. Sophie and I, we had beautiful chats about her life, her story, her battles with anorexia, eating disorders, anxiety, her school life, her sports. We spoke for about 3 hours. And it just reminded me of myself when I was that age, going through all of that. All I needed was someone to see me. All I needed was someone to help me through. All I needed was someone to educate me about my body and about how incredible our bodies are, how capable we are when we treat our bodies with respect, when we treat with ourselves with respect. Because society's done this incredible thing that it likes to paint pictures. It likes to airbrush everything. Filters, Lightroom, Adobe, Photoshop. We Photoshop people's waist. We make their boobs bigger. We make their face flawless. That's how I grew up. That's all I see in the magazines, social media, the influencers, the beautiful models, Victoria's Secrets. Our women's bodies, we're not designed to be like that. And how we are designed, how we are created, is perfectly imperfect. If you want beautiful, be yourself. If you want perfect, go to a Photoshop. Go online. The best gift that you can give anyone is show up unapologetically, wholeheartedly, beautifully, raw, authentically you, and own all parts of you. And this is what I showed Sophie. I helped her. We had a conversation. I opened up about my struggles when I was younger with eating disorders and the lessons that I've learnt since then, and how far and how incredible my body is and the capabilities of it when I treat it wholly. The fact that I ran around Australia, my hormones stayed healthy and happy. I had a period every 28 days as I was running out there, shows volumes. Having your period on the side of the highway, it ain't the best thing, but bloody hell, the fact that I could run and go the distance while maintaining happy, healthy hormones was incredible. And those things need to be celebrated. And I see it so much in our society where we shun our bodies. We shun our bodies for the way we look. It's like, babe, your body is your home. Celebrate it. Celebrate it for all its capabilities. Instead of looking for the negative, instead of looking for the flaws, celebrate it for its capabilities and what it can do. Because our bodies are designed differently. And the moment we start embracing that, the moment we start celebrating that, the moment we start educating ourselves more on that, is the moment we reclaim our power. Is the moment we say, fuck society, fuck the standards, fuck the airbrush, because you are beautiful. And the woman that you see in the mirror is beautiful. Your daughter, your mother, your grandmother, they're all beautiful. So therefore we need to celebrate our woman's body more. And males, you need to celebrate your body more because you are designed differently too. And instead of shunning it, let's just start seeing it for what it is. It is our home, it is our vehicle, it is our vessel. So therefore we need to fuel it with the correct food, with the correct nutrients and the correct words for it to go further in life. So it wasn't a coincidence that we had a flat tire. I needed to have a conversation with Sophie. She needed to hear from me. The messages I got afterwards helped her tremendously. And I helped her feel seen. It was an incredible evening. Finally got to bed at like 12 o'clock that night. In the morning, pulled up our big girl panties and off we went on for the next day. But it's a conversation that sticks out. It's a conversation that stays with me forever and a day. And it's a conversation that needed to happen. Couldn't control what was happening, but I could control how I handled the situation. And it was a beautiful night. And Kate changed the tire. But right now, what I want you to ask yourself is, how do you treat your body? How do you fuel your body? How do you nourish your body? What words do you speak to your body? And are you proud of that? Would you say those words, how you fuel your body, how you treat your body? Would you treat someone else's body like that? Would you treat your daughter's body like that? Would you treat your mother's body like that? Your son's, your partner's body like that? Would you say those words to your loved ones? And if you wouldn't, change it. That's your Just One More challenge from this episode. Share it with us on social media. We read them all, we reshare, and thank you for listening.
You just walked another leg of this journey with Brooke. Thank you for choosing to take one more step, one more breath, and one more day today. Now it's your turn. Hit the follow button, leave us your 5-star rating, and drop in the comments the moment that moved you the most or hit you the hardest. Do the Just One More challenge and tag us at justonemore.theofficial or #JustOneMore. Next episode will drop Tuesday, but until then, keep choosing courage over comfort, authenticity over approval, and resilience over giving up. This is Just One More. Let's keep talking.